Hello, thank you for joining me today. Well, this is the Tuesday, September 16th edition of our video devotionals, and we appreciate you being with us today. I hope your Tuesday's going well. We have a beautiful day here in central North Carolina. We've been having some absolutely fabulous weather. The temperatures cool in the mornings, warm during the day, and really had no rain. Kind of needed some rain. I think they're forecasting some later on today and maybe this evening. Point is, it's been beautiful, just very, very lovely. And we've been enjoying it. Hopefully you've been enjoying weather wherever you live, okay? We're going to be in Ezekiel chapter 29, verse 21 today. Find that if it is your custom to follow along with the Bible. Otherwise, we'll jump right into it. But we always want to say thank you for watching. Thank you for the comments, the acknowledgments, all of that. We appreciate you very much. All right, so the setting here in the chapters I read today, chapters 29, 30, and 31, heavy on judgment, okay? And the judgment in particular is against Egypt and against Pharaoh. And as you're reading along, you're seeing all of this. And one of the notable things, even about a Gentile nation like Egypt, is that God says, I'm going to, I'm going to pronounce judgment against you, and you're going to be dispersed. But I'm going to allow you to come back. It was just like a sister promise to God saying, to His own people, you're going to be dispersed, but you're going to be allowed to come back. But at any rate, you see all that heavy judgment. Then here in verse 21, you see this phrase here we're going to look at today, and it's just a blessing. Notice what it says. In that day will I cause the horn of the house of Israel to bud forth. You see that word horn, obviously we think about maybe a musical instrument. You think about on an animal, like on a rhinoceros has a very pronounced horn, okay? There's cattle not too far from us, probably within 3 or 4 miles. There's this man here in North Carolina, not in Texas, but got those longhorns. I mean, huge, massive horns on these cattle. Then, of course, there's people all over that hunt for, white-tailed deer, okay? And a lot of hunters, they want the big rack, the big 10, 12-point or whatever it might be. And all that to say is that they're very pronounced, and a lot of people want them for their beauty, and they really stand out as a powerful figure. Well, God is saying when it came to the children of Israel, He says, I kind of had to bring you down. We know that. And He says, but there's going to come a time when your horn is going to bud forth once again, and you're going to be pronounced. The word figuratively means like the power. You're going to stand out, okay? And God says that's going to happen. The thing I like about it is God's going to cause it. We don't have to make it happen. We're not going to force it. When I say we as individuals, when there's times that we say, man, I want to do something great for God, or maybe there's been some chastisement, maybe there's just been, for whatever reasons, a time of, you keep sowing and sowing and sowing. As Galatians says, be not weary in well-doing, for in due season ye shall reap if you faint not. Why would we be weary in well-doing? Because you look and say, where's the results? Where's the results? Where's the results? And for whatever reason, God says, you just be patient, because I'll be the one that brings the results. So whatever it is going on in your life today, or has been going on, or maybe will go on, realize this. If you'll come to God and say, God, I need you. I humble myself before you. If I'm not right, get right with God. If you continue to walk with God and you seemingly have a walk where, you're right with God, and you want to see things happen, or it seems like just the results may not be there on a bus route, in the Sunday school class, in your church. Preachers, of course, we want our churches to be filled with people, not so we can say, hey, we got a bunch of people, but because we want to say we want to preach to the people, we want to help the people, we want to see the evidence of people's lives being changed. So we see all that, and the truth is, the Bible says sometimes there's times where God says it's not time, or there's a reason why it's not happening, whatever it might be. But God says, I'll be the one to make the house of Israel to bud forth. Sometimes this time of year, you see things like at our house. We've got these mums that we've had of 3 or 4 years, and they're starting to get where they're more difficult to keep alive. They're in these hanging baskets, and of course, the dirt probably loses its nutrients. Much harder to water, especially if it's not raining, because it seems to evaporate quicker than them being in the ground. The point is, we've got some little buds of flowers on them, white and yellow, and I think orange, and just little small ones. You can tell they're not as vibrant as they used to be. But you know what? Something about you put the water to them, or put the nutrients to them, then they start to bud forward. So God says, that's what I do. That's what I do. So hopefully that's encouraging to you. You just be patient with God, do the right things, and God says, I'll be the one that makes it but for it. All right, going to stop right there. Have a great day, safe day, healthy day. Lord willing, we'll be back tomorrow at the midway point of the week on Wednesday. Thank you for watching.